committed to continuing the success of Prime Minister Modi's Khelo India program and the target Olympic podium scheme to support India's elite athletes. I think both of us are looking forward to seeing how this forum will ignite ideas about how Australia can best be part of India's journey to furthering sporting success, including as you bid for the 2036 Olympics. Equally, would like to welcome Gujarat Minister of Sports, Harsh Sanghavi. Thank you for co-hosting this important event with us. We greatly appreciate your efforts in helping to organise this forum. I know that you have great commitment to the thriving sporting culture of Gujarat. After you brought back the National Games to Gujarat in 2022, you have not only continued to improve sporting infrastructure here, but you've also committed to sport as a broader tool for good. I have learned of your commitment to using sport to improve public health and combat drug abuse amongst young people. Congratulations. I would also like to welcome the many other important visitors here. You will know, the Indians in the room should know that we have some of the top leadership of Australian sports here. Kieran Perkins, the CEO of the Australian Sports Commission. Robin Smith, the governing board member of the International Paralympic Committee. Simon Hollingsworth, CEO of Australian Athletics. David Pryles, CEO of Hockey Australia. I'm delighted that we have been able to bring the cream of Australian sports administration to this meeting. And to you, the other important Indians in the room, to Colonel Johal, to Dr. Sumiwala, to Mr. Thanarasan, Principal Secretary, to Sandeep Sagale, to Indra Vada, thank you very much for making yourselves available. We look forward to this forum being a first and important step to a much deeper partnership between Australia, India, and Gujarat in sports. India is a country with a deep and ancient sporting tradition, a tradition that lives on in the present. The determination and commitment of Sri Arjuna in mastering the Dhunash can be seen in the Commonwealth Games success of Deepika Kumari. And when I think of Neeraj Chopra's Olympic gold and silver medal for javelin, I suspect many of those javelins soared like the Yudhishthira. It is inspiring to see India's ancient sports like Kabaddi and Kho-Kho find popularity all around the world, including particularly in Australia. Now is the time that sporting culture comes to the fore. India is a great sporting nation waiting to achieve its destiny. And Australia has much to offer India in its journey to reach its lofty goals. Our countries have a joint passion for sport. The obvious, of course, is cricket. Both sides have been fierce competitors, but great admirers of each other. It is rivalry that is now the most exciting rivalry in the world of cricket. I learned that the Indian national team's first international tour in 1947, as a newly independent nation, was to Australia. And that riveting cricket rivalry has extended all the way through to last year as both sides competed for the Border Gavaskar Trophy. And last night, of course, Australia was not the victor, and India showed its true capacity. We don't welcome the result, but we delight in the rivalry. Shabash, India. And now, the rivalry and camaraderie we share in cricket is beginning to grow and diversify in other sports. Our hockey teams regularly face off to prove their international competitiveness. We love to see Australian football and rugby take off in India, noting the complementary skills of Indians from sports like Kabaddi. And there are people in this forum who are here to discuss collaboration in athletics, in gymnastics, in football, in swimming and more. And further to that, we will learn during the forum that there is a whole ecosystem that comes together to support elite athletes, especially in Olympics, to ultimately win medals. I would note that there are many in this forum on the Indian side who can add to our understanding about that. We know of the many officials of sporting organisations, but I'm delighted that we are here joined today by senior officers from firms like Tata, Adani and Reliance who are deeply engaged. And in addition to that, we have Australian university presence, people who are experts in the business of sports science and sports business. Australia likes to imagine itself as a strong competitor in the Olympics. And in Paris last year, that was a good demonstration. Australia, a country of only 26, 27 million people, was fourth on the Paris medal table. Over the next 2 days, you will hear about our abilities to develop elite sport, but also our the 2032 Olympics in Brisbane. When it comes to sports management, we have a once-in-a-generation opportunity to work closely with India as it moves towards its 2036 Olympic ambitions. Australian expertise already makes a significant contribution towards India's sporting achievements. We are very proud that the Australian firm Populous helped design the iconic Narendra Modi Stadium here in Ahmedabad. Australian universities are global leaders on sports science and management. Deakin University, which operates a campus right here in Gift City, is already focusing in on what it can do to deliver sports education outcomes with India, for India, in India. And our consultations with Australia-Indian communities and sporting bodies show that there is more that can be done, including in relation to talent, inclusive participation, and sports tech. Just last November, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Albanese met for their annual summit. Amongst a small range of conclusions that they made at that meeting, they chose to upgrade the bilateral collaboration that Australia and India have in sports. And last week, our Prime Minister launched a new roadmap for Australia's economic engagement with India. That includes the engagement of sports business and peak bodies engaging with Indian market as it expands, including in sports infrastructure, elite performance, and sports event management. At the end of the day, the reason why the Australian government is investing so strongly is not only our strong bilateral relationship, which is warm and friendly, and our complementary economies, but also in recognition of our people. The Indian diaspora in Australia is now the fastest growing migrant community in our country. It creates what Prime Minister Modi likes to call the human bridge. It now numbers 1 million people, which might not seem a lot in an Indian context, but for us in Australia, that's a very large number of people. That's 4% of our population. And we know that people of Indian origin in Australia are more likely than others in our country to be involved in community organisation, including in sports. This diaspora, a number of whom we are delighted to welcome here today, contribute substantially to our bilateral ties and deepening understanding of each other. They are also an important bridge in business, including in sports business, since they understand this culture and many of Indian languages, and they understand the way in which Australia works and what we have to offer. It's with these people-to-people links in mind that we have come today to build partnerships, to make the most of our values and rivalry, to enhance our competitiveness and our sporting culture. It's what both of our Prime Ministers wanted following their meeting last year. And more importantly, it's what our people want us. So with that in mind, I'll be paying very close attention to the discussions we have at this conference, to what we can learn from each other here to help guide the way forward for Australia, for the Australia-India sports collaboration into the future. I thank you very much for your attention and your participation here today. I wish the forum every success.
Thank you, High Commissioner Green. I think it is that shared passion that brings us all under one roof, and no doubt there will be a lot that comes off the next 2 days. I'd like to now welcome the Honourable Minister for Sports and Youth Affairs of Gujarat, Shri Harsh Sanghvi, to provide his opening remarks.
Good morning, honorable dignitaries, distinguished delegates, esteemed representatives from Australia and India, industry leaders, sports professionals, and all stakeholders of sporting community. I welcome you all to the land of emotions, cultural heritage, and opportunities. I welcome you all to Gujarat. His Excellency Philip Green, Honorable Minister of Sports, Srimati Raksha Khadseji, my dear friend Paul Murphy, कल हम सबने एक ऐसा दिन देखा, yesterday we have witnessed one of the most interesting match between India and Australia. Kangaroos and Tigers both have performed so well. Both have posed each other at most. At the end, Tigers won. What I want to say is, this conference is best example of bonding between each other. This conference is best example of true friendship. Yesterday we were fighting, and today we are together on the same platform to share our expertise. This is the best example which many countries can learn from us. So I'm thankful to Mr. Philip and Paul for making this happen. It is an honor to host this prestigious forum in Gujarat, which marks yet another milestone in the deepening collaboration between India and Australia in the field of sports. As the state is deeply investing in sports development, Gujarat looks forward to meaningful collaboration with Australia in coming years, especially on matters related to expertise in hosting sporting events. Sports is not just competition, it is a unifying force, a driver of excellence, a key pillar of national progress. I am confident that this forum's discussion will pave the way of new partnership knowledge and collaborative pursuit of sporting excellence. India and Australia have always been fierce competitors on the field and trusted partners of it. Whether it's cricket, hockey, or the rising popularity of sports like football and tennis, our nations share a sporting DNA that thrives on resilience, dedication, and pursuit of greatness. Who can forget the historic border Gavaskar Trophy clashes, where every series is more than just a game? It's a test of right strategy and spirit. On the Commonwealth Games, where Indian and Australian athletes push each other to new heights. Forging friendship that go beyond national flags, our relationship in sports is a testament to how competition can drive and how rivalries can create respect. And this conference is one of the best examples. Beyond the game, we have a good cultural and strategic bonds. Cricket diplomacy has played a pivotal role in strengthening India and Australia ties, with legends like Bradley and Matthew Haddon embracing India as their second home, and Indian cricketer receiving heroes welcome in Australia. Australia's sports science and high performance training models have influenced Indian athletes, where India's deep rooted sporting tradition from kabaddi and to wrestling have intrigued and inspired everyone. Today, as Gujarat looks towards further progressing its sporting prowess and potentially hosting mega sporting events, our collaboration must extend to sports education, technology, grassroots development, and infrastructure management. Australia's expertise in sports science, high performance training, coaching, and event management is globally recognized. By leveraging this expertise, Gujarat aims to create a more robust and inclusive sports ecosystem. Such partnership will equip our coaches, administrators, and sports scientists with world-class training, strengthening Gujarat's sports landscape from grassroots to elite levels. With Deccan University and University of Wollongong establishing their campuses in Gujarat, we see immense potential for joint programs in sports education, management, and coaching. Beyond education, we invite Australian corporate sponsors, technology providers, and industry partners to explore opportunities in Gujarat, expanding sports sector from stadium management and sports technology to athlete training program and development. There is a vast potential for mutually beneficiary collaborations. Gujarat is committed to sustainability in sports infrastructure. We seek collaboration on green stadiums, eco-friendly sports facilities, and sustainable event planning. The Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel Enclave is envisioned and having highest international standards and sustainability principles with global best practices. Gujarat is a rising sporting powerhouse. Gujarat has always been a land of champions, warriors, and trailblazers. Today we are scripting a new chapter as a sport hub, aligning with Prime Minister Narendra Modi's vision of making India a global sporting superpower. The Narendra Modi Stadium, the world's largest cricket stadium, has become an iconic venue, witnessing historic sporting moments and other cultural events. Gujarat is investing heavily in sports infrastructure, training academies, and grassroots development, ensuring that the next generation of athletes get the world-class exposure they deserve. By share research on inquiry, prevention, rehabilitation, and high performance training, Gujarat and Australia can together set new benchmark in sports excellence. With advancement in AI-driven analytics, biomechanics, and data-driven coaching, we can revolutionize athlete training program and scouting methods. With partnership like Australia-India Sports Excellence Forum, we look forward to collaborating on high-performance training, sports, analytics, athlete exchange program, and joint research in sports science. India is investing in future of sports means investing in youth. Gujarat is keen to learn from Australia's best practices in grassroots programs, school sports initiative, and athlete nurturing. By creating exchange program and mentorship opportunities, we can empower young athletes and provide them with global exposure. This partnership will help shape the next generation of sporting champions, benefiting both nations and the global sports community. Australia has set global benchmarks in legacy planning, ensuring long-term benefits from major sporting events. Even after the conclusion, Gujarat is keen to adapt these best practices to maximize the post-event utilization of sports infrastructure, drive community engagement, and integrate sports facilities into urban development. By ensuring that our investments in sports create lasting social, economic, and community impact, we are committed to making Gujarat a sustainable, inclusive, and thriving sporting destination. In conclusion, together, let us build a more connected sports ecosystem. I invite all stakeholders present today to explore opportunities in Gujarat and be part of this excellent journey. Thank you. And one more thing, Gujarat is having one of the best sports manufacturing policy. Those who are interested to set their unit for manufacturing in sports sector, Gujarat is one of the best land where you can get most of the opportunities. तो गुजरात में आपका स्वागत है। फिर से एक बार मैं आप सबका स्वागत करता हूँ और गुजरात ये अपॉर्चुनिटीज की भूमि है। यहाँ लोगों के सपने साकार होते हैं। तो मैं आप सबका फिर से एक बार बहुत बहुत स्वागत करता हूँ और मेरे सभी ऑस्ट्रेलियन दोस्तों का गुजरात की धरती पर मैं स्वागत करता हूँ और मैं आशा रखता हूँ आने वाले 2 दिन आपके लिए एक नई अपॉर्चुनिटीज और अनेक नई आशाएं और अपॉर्चुनिटीज वाले 2 दिन बनेंगे और आप ये 2 दिन गुजरात में यादगार बनाओ, ऐसी मेरी आप सबको शुभकामनाएं। थैंक यू।